अब आज का लेक्चर शुरू करने से पहले लेट अस रिकॉल Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law says that if I am having two charges Q1 and Q2 kept in air, they are separated by distance r. Then what is the magnitude of force? Magnitude of force is F equal to, try to recall. Yes, it is K Q1 Q2 upon r square. What this K? K is known as Coulombian constant. It is 9 into 10 raised to 9. What is the unit? Try to recall. It is Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Right? Okay. Now, ये force कौन लगाएगा? This is the force which is exerted by Q1 and experienced by Q2. It is the force exerted by Q2 and experienced by Q1. That means दोनों चार्ज एक दूसरे के ऊपर सेम अमाउंट का फोर्स लगाएंगे, लेकिन डायरेक्शन विल बी द अपोजिट. ओके, दिस इज Coulomb's law. See, this is the formula. मीन्स जगह तक भी याद रहनी चाहिए. F is equals to K Q1 Q2 upon R square. Value of K is 9 into 10 raised to 9. Unit is Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Okay. Now ये तो बात हुई कि दो चार्ज है. Now instead of two charges, if I have Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 and Q5, then what will happen? पांच चार्ज है. नाउ लेट अस कंसीडर Q1 इज अवर हीरो. ओके, तो इसके ऊपर कौन कौन चार्ज एग्जिस्ट, सॉरी कौन कौन फोर्स एग्जिस्ट करेगा? Q3, Q4, Q2 and Q5. Wherever there is charge, there is force. So all these charges will exert force on Q1. So let us consider that all these charges are positive. So what will happen? This Q4 and Q1, there will be force of repulsion. So Q4 बोलेगा तुमको इस डायरेक्शन में जाना है. Q3 बोलेगा तुमको यहाँ जाना है. Q5 बोलेगा तुमको यहाँ जाना है. Q2 बोलेगा कि तुमको यहाँ जाना है. Then what this Q1 has to do? Okay, so here four forces are acting on Q1. Then what is the net force on this Q1? ये तो Q1 तो बड़ी मुश्किल में आ गया, क्या करे क्या ना करे. So how can we find the net force? Do you have any idea? Yes, we can find the force with help of principle of superposition. ये वर्ड कुछ सुना हुआ लगता है ना, प्रिंसिपल ऑफ सुपरपोजिशन. कहाँ सुना था? Yes, you have studied it in 11th standard in chapter of wave. Principle of superposition says when there are more than one waves are superposing on a point, then resultant displacement of this point is the vector summation of individual displacement. In the same way, here also we can find the net force acting on this charge. So here, principle of superposition says that when more than one Coulombian forces are acting on a charge, net Coulombian force equal to vector summation of individual forces. I am repeating, when more than one Coulombian forces are acting on a charge, net force acting on that charge is equal to vector summation. Keep in mind, vector summation of individual forces. Okay, now let us understand this principle of superposition in detail. Okay, now let us consider principle of superposition in detail. For that, I am considering a system of three charges. This is my charge Q1. Its position vector with respect to origin O is vector r. Here I have charge Q2. Its position vector is vector r2, and here I am having charge Q3. Its position vector is r3. Okay. Distance between Q1 and Q2 is r12. This r12 is the distance between 1 and 2, and I can say that direction of unit vector r12, this is unit vector r12 is this one, You can understand this thing from your 11th standard, and if you have any query, you can ask me in the comment box. Okay. Similarly, this R13, this is the direction of vector R13, distance between charge Q1 and Q3. I have mentioned it with help of R13. So direction of unit vector R13 is towards Q1. Now, once again, I want to find the net force acting on this charge Q2. कौन लगाएगा? Q2 will exert the force. What will be the direction of force? Here, I am considering all the charges to be positive. So, Q1, Q2, they are like charges. So, it will repel. So, as it will repel, it will push it away from itself. So, Q2, Q1 को धक्का लगाएगा. Okay, so it will be in this direction. So, this is the direction of force on 1 by 2. So, this is the direction of vector F1. Similarly, Q1 and Q3 both are like charges. Once again, Q3 will give push to Q1 along the line joining. So, this red line gives you direction of force on 1 by 3. Okay, so here two forces are acting. Now, according to principle of superposition, total force acting on Q1 is the vector summation of F1 and F2. So, I have to find vector summation of F1 and F2. Before that, I will put the values of these two forces, F12 and F13. So, here I can say that we know that force on 1 by 2. What will be the magnitude? According to principle of Coulomb's law, K Q1 Q2 upon distance between 1 and 2, that is R12. So R12 square, K Q1 Q2 upon R square, this will be the magnitude. Now if I want to consider direction, what is the direction of this force? You can say this direction of F12 and direction of unit vector R12, they are same. So this is R12. Unit vector R12 is used to mention the direction. So force on 1 by 2 is K Q1 Q2 upon R12 square. Direction is mentioned with help of R12. Okay. Similarly, force on 1 by 3. So F13 magnitude will be K. See, this is number 1, so I will write Q1, then Q3 upon separation is R13 square. Direction is unit vector R13. So this is F12 and F13. So according to principle of superposition, F net or net force on 1. So I will write F1 equal to, it is the vector summation of two forces. That means vector F12 plus vector F13, which can be written as K Q1 Q2 upon R12 square unit vector R12 plus K Q1 Q3 upon R13 square into unit vector R13. This gives you net force acting on this charge Q1. Okay. Now, we can generalize this. Here only two forces are acting. If n forces are acting, okay, so I can say that if n charges are present, then net force acting on 1, F1 equal to vector F12 plus vector F13 up to vector F1n. Okay, so we can say that it is K Q1 Q2 upon R12 square unit vector R12 up to K Q1 Qn upon R1n square unit vector R1n. Okay, from this I can take, see, each term contains KQ1, so I will take KQ1 common, what is left? It is Q2 upon R12 square up to Qn upon R1n square. Okay. Here I have to put unit vector R12, here unit vector R1n. Okay, so now in terms of sigma, I can write it as KQ1. This is force on 1. KQ1. Okay, now this bracket can be written as summation, that means sigma over I equal to, say here it starts from 2 and ends up to n. So I equal to 2 to n Qi upon R1I square into unit vector R1I. Okay, so this is the way through which we can find the force acting on a charge. Okay. Now just try to understand the original case. Here only two forces are acting and I want to find the net force. I can use law of parallelogram. So when two vectors are there, from a common point I have to draw two vectors, then complete the parallelogram and draw a diagonal. Diagonal from the common point gives you resultant F. So this will be my F1. Okay, in this way you can find the resultant force acting on a charge when more than one forces are acting. Okay. Now just one another information. See, here I have written the formula for force acting on charge 1. Now instead of 1, I want to find force acting on 2. So F2, how can I write? Force acting on 2. F2 equal to, बोलो क्या करना चाहिए? यहाँ Q1 है, Q1 is to be replaced by Q2. So force Q2 will be common. Okay. Then summation I equal to, what will be changed? See Q2, Q3, जो यहाँ है वो नंबर यहाँ नहीं आता है. Okay. So Q2 is here. So Q2 should not be here. So I equal to, and 1 will be there. So I will write I equal to 1 to n. I should not be equal to 2. Then I will write Qi upon R2I square into R2I unit. Similarly, if I want to write for F3, then it is Q3 summation I equal to 1 to n. I should not be equal to 3. Then Qi R3I square into unit vector R3I. Similarly, force acting on jth charge, generalized, very generalized. Force acting on jth charge is equals to K Qj summation I equal to 1 to n, but I should not be equal to j. Then Qi upon Rji square into unit vector Rji. This is just for understanding. Okay, they can ask you this type of question in your 1 mark MCQ. Okay, so this is regarding principle of superposition. Now on the basis of principle of superposition, we have to solve some numericals. First of all, we will solve the textual illustrations. 2 illustrations are given in your textbook on the basis of principle of superposition. So now let us start our illustrations. Let us start illustration number 1.6. Question says that consider 3 charges Q1, Q2 and Q3 each equal to Q at vertices of an equilateral triangle of side L. What is the force on a charge Q, capital Q, with the same sign as that of small q placed at the centroid of the triangles as shown in the figure? Okay. So here we have an equilateral triangle. At each vertex charge q is placed. So q1 equal to q, q2 is equal to q, q3 equal to q. These three charges are kept. Okay. At the centroid, this is centroid. Okay. First one thing, this is an equilateral triangle. That means all the sides are equal. That means AB equal to BC equal to AC, and each side is given as L. Now this is the centroid. Okay, I have mentioned it as O. At centroid, charge capital Q is kept. I want to find the net force acting on this charge capital. Okay. Now first of all, who will exert force on charge Q? Let us think. So who is present? 1, 2 and 3 charges are present. So all these 3 charges will exert force on this charge capital Q. Now I have to find magnitude of each charge, because to find net force I have to use principle of superposition. So to use principle of superposition I must have value of each force. Okay. And to find value of each force I must have distance between A and O, distance between B and O, distance between C and O. Okay. So here you know that AD is the median. Okay, because it is an equilateral triangle, and as it is an equilateral triangle, this angle will be 90 degree. Okay, and this angle will be 30 degree, because whole angle is 60. This is half. Okay. Now this side AC, this is 90 degree. This is 30. So I can say that AD equal to AC cos 30. Okay, so I can say that from figure, AD equal to AC cos 30. AC is nothing but L, and cos 30. What is value of cos 30? Yes, root 3 by 2. So it is root 3 by 2. So AD is equals to root 3 by 2 times L. Now I want distance between A and O. Okay. Now AO. You have studied this thing in geometry of your school, that is I think 9th or 10th, that AO, distance of between vertex and the centroid, is 2/3 of the median. So AO is equal to 2 by 3 times AD, that is equal to 2 by 3. AD is L into root 3 by 2. 2 kata, then you will get this root 3 and it will give you root 3. So it is L by root 3. Okay. So I can say that distance AO, distance between vertex and the centroid, is L by root 3. And here all this distance of all the vertex from the centroid will be same. So I can say that therefore AO is equals to BO equal to CO. AO, BO and CO, and we generally mention the distance between two charges as R. So this is my R, and this will be L by root 3. As R is L by root 3, so I can say that my R square will be L square by 3. I have to use this for calculating the force. Okay, so R has been calculated. Okay, now let us calculate forces. So we know that force on O by A. So I will write FOA. Okay, what will be magnitude? K Q1 Q2 upon R square. So K Q1 is Q, Q2, that is force here. Okay, force, charge at O, that will Q, right, upon R square. R square is L square by 3. So it will be 3K small q into capital Q upon L square. So this is force on O by A. Now here I have kept the vector sign, so I have to mention the direction. Force on O by A. both are like charges, so there will be repulsion. So this will be the direction of FOA, right? In the same way, I have to mention the directions of force on O by B. This is B, this is O. Again there will be repulsion. So this is force on O by B, and this is C, that will give me force on O by C. Correct? So in this way I have three forces: force on O by A, FOA, FOB and FOC. As it is an equilateral triangle, this angle will be, each angle will be 120 degree. Okay. Now I can write the formula for FOB. This will also be KQQ, KQQ, distance will be L square by 3. So this is 3K QQ upon L square, and FOC will also be 3K QQ upon L square. Okay, so here we can say that magnitude of all the forces are same. Okay, now let us put the direction of FOA. It is in the direction from A to O. This is in the direction from, in direction vector AO. This is in direction vector BO, and this is in direction vector CO, right? AO, this is BO, and this one is CO. All of you are clear? So these are the three forces. Now to find net force, what should I do? Using principle of superposition. Now according to superposition principle, force on O is equals to FOA plus FOB plus FOC, right? Okay. Now here you can see that all the three forces have same magnitude. So three vectors having same magnitude, they are at an angle of 120 degree, 120 degree, 120 degree, 120 degree. So if I use method of vector addition, graphical method. See, here is my force FOA. It is in downward direction. Okay. FOB, it is an angle of 120 degree. So I can draw it as now it's a 120 degree. So this will be, this is FOA, this is FOB, and from the third I have to draw 120. I want to use method of triangle. So from head of first vector I will draw another vector. So this is FOA. From head of A I will draw second vector but at an angle of 120 degree. Same magnitude. Okay. So this is FOB. From head of second vector I have to draw third vector. It is at an angle of 120 degree. So it will be like this. And as magnitude of each of them, this is FOC. If we draw with proper scale, it will touch here. So resultant will be the 0. So I can say that it is equal to 0. So net force acting on charge at the centroid is 0. once again keep in mind, first vector, from head of first vector I have to draw second vector, from head of second vector I have to draw third vector, and distance between head of the last and tail of first gives you the resultant vector. So head of last and tail of first, they touch each other, that means there is no separation. As there is no separation, resultant is equal to 0. So in this way we can say that when equal charges are kept at each vertex of an equilateral triangle, then resultant force acting on a charge kept at the centroid is always 0 if polarity of all the charges are same. Okay, so 1.6 has been completed. Now we have to proceed for next illustration, that is 1.7. Now let us quickly solve illustration number 1.7. Okay, now according to question, you can refer the question from your textbook. We have three charges Q1, Q2 and Q3. They are kept on vertices of an equilateral triangle of side L. But here what is the difference from the previous question? Q1 and Q2, these two are positive charges, plus Q, while Q3 magnitude is Q but it is negative. Okay, then you here in this question you have to find force acting on each of the charge. Net force acting on Q1, net force acting on Q2 and net force acting on Q3, that we want to find. This is our question, right? Okay, now let us understand. See, distance between Q1 and Q2 is L. Here is distance is L, here distance is L. That means separation between each pair of the charges is same. Second thing, if we consider product of the magnitude Q square, here Q square, here also Q into Q, that is Q square. So I can say that for each pair of charges, product of magnitude of charges is same, it will be Q square, and separation between each pair is L, and we know that magnitude of force depends on product of the magnitude of charges and it is inversely proportional to square of the distance. So in this case, for each pair these two quantities remain same. That means magnitude of all these forces, force on 1 by 2, force on 1 by 3, force on 2 by 1, force on 2 by 3, F31, F32, all these forces will have same magnitude. Let us say it is F and it will be K, Q1, Q2, product is Q1 into Q2, Q square upon square of the distance, that is L square. Okay, so here I have written magnitude of all the forces. Okay, now let us find the net force. So for that, so first of all, now I will think for F1, vector F1, that means net force acting on 1. Who is producing force on 1? 2 and 3. So force on 1 by 2 plus force on 1 by 3 due to according to principle of superposition. Okay, now let us check. F12, 1 is positive, Q2 is also positive, so there will be repulsion. So F12 is towards left hand side. Okay. Q1 is positive, Q3 is negative, so there will be force of attraction. So Q3 will act Q towards itself. So direction of F13 is towards point C. So these are two forces. Now to find net force, I have to use law of parallelogram. So by completing the parallelogram, I will get the direction of F1. So now you can see here from the geometry of figure, I can say that vector angle between vector F12 and F13, this angle. This angle is, see, total 180, as it is equilateral, this one is 60, so this angle is 120 degree. Okay. If I have, this is the vector addition, then I can say that magnitude of F equal to under root magnitude of F12 square plus F13 square 2 times F12 F13 cos angle between the two vectors is 120. How this comes? Recall 11th standard. If R equal to A plus B, vector A plus vector B, then magnitude of R equal to under root A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta, where theta is angle between vector A and vector B. Can you recall? Okay, the same thing. F12 square plus F13 square plus 2 times F12 F13 into cos of the angle. Angle is 120. Okay. Now F12 F13 all they are nothing but F, so I can say that F square plus 2F cos 120 minus 1 by 2. Okay, so this will be F square plus F square, this 2 gets cancelled, minus F square. This F square get cancelled, hence it will become F. So magnitude of F1 is equal to F. Okay. Now, can you, what is the direction of F1? So F1 is in direction, see, this 2. This BC and vector F1, they are same. So I can say that, therefore, vector F1 is equal to KQ square by L square. Now as I am putting vector sign, I have to mention direction. So I can say that in direction of vector BC. Clear? Okay. So now I will find F2. Similarly, vector F2. Okay. Again, F2 is here. Okay. What is the angle between F1 and F2? It is, once again, this will become 120. So here I will write F2 equal to F21 plus F23. Okay. Using the same procedure, I can say that F2 equal to under root F square plus F square 2FF cos 120, that will give me F. So vector F2. The same procedure we have to follow here, that's why I haven't written it. So F2 equal to KQ square upon L square. Now what is the direction? This is direction of F2 is same as AC. Okay, so I can say that in direction of vector AC. Okay, so here I have obtained F1, here I have obtained F2. Okay, now only F3 is left. Let us find it quickly. So now I can say that vector F3, it is vector summation of F31 plus F32. Okay. This is F31, this one is F32. Now you can say, see, angle between these two vectors is 60 degree because this is an equilateral triangle. So I can say that therefore magnitude of F3 equal to under root F square, magnitude of 3 to F square plus 2FF cos 60. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. So it is F square plus 2F square into 1 by 2. 2 gets cancelled. So it will be 3F square, and after taking square root, it will be root 3 times F. So magnitude of F3 is root 3 times F. Okay, what is F? KQ square upon L square. Now, I have to mention the direction also. So I can say that vector F3. What is the direction? It is, see, this is bisector. as magnitude of these two forces are equal, this F3 is on bisector. So F3 is equal to root 3 kq square upon L square in direction of bisector of angle ACB. Okay, so in this way we have obtained magnitude as well as direction of the forces acting on the three charges kept on the vertices of this equilateral triangle. Okay, so in this way we have solved two textual illustrations. If you have any queries related to this, you can ask me on the comment box. Okay, now we will discuss one extra numerical which is useful for your JEE NEET and GUJSET exam. Here is the question. A charge Q is placed at the center of the line joining the two equal charges Q separated by distance A as shown in figure. So figure is somewhat like this. Here we have charge Q at the midpoint, and here these two charges Q and Q are separated by distance A. This is the midpoint, that means this distance will be A by 2. What should be this Q? I have to find sign also, so that system of three charges remains in equilibrium. Okay, the system is in equilibrium means net force acting on each of the charge is 0. Force acting on this Q, force acting on this Q as well as force acting on this Q is 0. Then only system remains in equilibrium. Okay, so what should be value of this Q in terms of capital Q? See the options. Q by 4 minus Q by 4, Q by 2 minus Q by 2. So what should be this Q in terms of capital Q so that the system is in equilibrium? Okay, so for that I will consider equilibrium of charge Q which is at the left side. Okay, so I will say this is my Q1, this is my Q2 and this is my Q3. So I can say that for equilibrium of Q1, okay, equilibrium of Q1 means net force on Q1 should be 0. Okay, now कौन लगा है net force? So force on 1 is equals to force on 1 by 2 plus force on 1 by 3. Okay, now see resultant, I want resultant to be 0. Okay, net force should be 0, so it should be 0. Okay, this is possible when two forces are acting and the resultant is 0, means the two forces are equal in magnitude and they are opposite in direction. So I can say that F12 equal to minus F13. Okay, so here I will consider only magnitude. Okay, what is magnitude? K Q1 Q2 upon distance between 1 and 2, that is R12 square. Here it will be minus K Q1 Q3 upon distance between R1. This K gets cancelled. Now let us put the value. Q1 is capital Q, Q2 is small q, distance between 1 and 2 is a by 2 and its square will give me a square by 4 equal to minus Q1 is capital Q, Q3 is also capital Q, distance between these two is a, so it is a square. A square gets cancelled. I can say that 4Q equal to minus Q. That means Q equal to minus capital Q divided by 4. Now for this sign you can think like this. One more way. See here two forces. Force on 1 by 3. These two are having same polarity. That means there will be repulsion. So force on 1 by 3. It is towards left. It means that force on 1 by 2 must be towards that. इस तरफ आएगा. इस तरफ तभी हो सकता है जब ये नेगेटिव हो. Attraction तभी होगा. Then it is clear that polarity of this middle charge must be negative, and we are getting negative polarity. Extra questions. Number 1. See, here we have two charges, 8 microcoulomb and minus 2 microcoulomb. They are placed at a separation of 20 centimeter. We have to find on this line joining the two charges, where should I keep a third charge so that net force acting on that charge is 0. Okay, I have to find location of the third charge so that net force acting on that Q3 should be 0. Okay. For that, just first of all understand, there are three probabilities. We can put the charge on left side of A, I can put the charge between A and B, and I can put the charge towards right side of the B. Okay, let us check. Okay, if I put a third charge here, okay, let us say this is the location point C, and I am keeping, suppose, plus Q charge here. So now Q1 is positive, this is also positive. What will happen? There will be force of repulsion. So it will repel it and it will be act in this direction due to repulsion. Sorry, I have to find force on Q3. So here there will be repulsion. So it will act in this direction. So force on this 3 is in this direction. Now this Q2, it is negative, this one is positive. There will be force of attraction. So force of attraction, it will be also in this direction. So I can say that the two forces are acting in same direction. As the two forces are acting in same direction, their net force cannot be 0. So it is not possible that we can put the two charges in the same direction. आई बात समझ में? Once again, see, when two charges are having opposite polarity, I want net force on this one to be 0. नेट फोर्स 0 होगा. इट कब होगा? जब दोनों फोर्स क्रिएटेड बाय Q1, फोर्स एक्सर्टेड बाय Q2, दे आर इन सेम ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन एंड हैविंग सेम मैग्नीट्यूड. मैग्नीट्यूड की बात छोड़ो, पहले लेते हैं डायरेक्शन. पॉजिटिव पॉजिटिव रिपल्सन होगा, पुश करेगा. पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव अट्रैक्शन होगा, खींचेगा अपनी तरफ. दैट मीन्स दिस टू फोर्सेस आर इन सेम डायरेक्शन. That's why it is not possible that net of these two can be 0. So probability that we can put the charge in between A and B is cancelled. Okay. Now either I can put on left hand side of A or I can put it on right hand side of B. Okay. For that you have to remember that we have to keep the third charge nearer to the smaller charge. Keep in mind, nearer to the smaller charge. We have to consider magnitude only. This is 2, this is 8. Which is nearer? 2 is nearer. So I should put it somewhere here. So this should be the proper location of the C. So remember that whenever we have two charges of opposite polarity, two charges of opposite sign, third charge should be nearer to the smaller charge, but not in between the two charges. This point you have to keep in your mind. Okay. Now location मिल गया. Suppose I have placed it at a distance x from point A. Now using our original method, long method, you can find the distance x. Okay. But there is a shortcut with help of which we can find the answer very quickly. Very quickly. Okay. The shortcut says, so here I am writing shortcut. say that distance from the smaller charge equal to separation between two charges, divided by square root of q larger upon q smaller minus 1. See, minus is outside the square. Let us just calculate. Here separation between two charges is 20 centimeter. Root of, what is q larger? 8. Once again we have to consider only magnitude. 8 microcoulomb divided by q smaller 2 microcoulomb minus 1. 8 by 2, 4. Square root of 4, that is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So answer will be 20 centimeter because this is in centimeter. So here distance from smaller charge. So third charge should be kept at a distance of 20 centimeter from smaller charge. Smaller charge is this one. So this distance should be 20 centimeter. Is it clear? Okay. Now this is the case when we have two charges of opposite polarity. What will happen if the two charges are having same polarity? Here I have taken example Q1 8 microcoulomb and it is also positive. Both the charges are positive. Let us say separation is 30 centimeter. In this case, what are the chances? Okay. So first we will consider first one. Okay. Suppose I have placed here plus q charge. Then what will happen? Positive, positive. There will be force of repulsion pushing away. Positive, positive. Force of repulsion pushing away. That means in the region in between A and B, the two forces are in mutually opposite direction. That means the third charge must be in between. इस तरफ देखोगे क्या होगा? Positive, positive. So if I put it here, then there will be opposite. Two forces will be in same direction. Here also two forces is in the same direction. So it is not possible. Only the third charge must be in between. So here I can say that two charges have same sign, then the third charge must be placed in between the two charges. Once again we have shortcut. Distance from smaller charge equal to separation between two charges divided by square root of q larger divided by q smaller, but in this case it will be plus 1. Only this is the difference. Here it is q larger upon q smaller minus 1 and here it is q larger upon q smaller plus 1. Okay, let us calculate. So here separation is 30 centimeter divided by q larger 8, q smaller 2, square root plus 1. 2 4s are 4, square root of 4 2, 2 plus 1 that is 3, 30 by 3 that is 10 centimeter. So with this shortcut trick you can quickly calculate the position. You can solve this with help of our original method also. All of you have to try to solve this with help of original method. But for your entrance exam, you have to solve this with help of these shortcuts only, so you can save your time.